Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I already have a puff puff recipe here on my channel. You can go and check that out, but in today's video we are going to be adding some plantains to make it even more sweet, yummy and delicious. So I hope you stay tuned to see how I make my plantain puffs. Alright, for this recipe you will need some really ripe plantains. You can even use overripe plantains if that's what you have. You will be needing some chili pepper as well, all-purpose flour, and I'm using 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, a pinch of salt, a teaspoon of active yeast, and some warm milk. So let's get started. In a bowl, I'm going to add in the 2 ripe plantains. For this recipe, you need a very ripe plantains because that is going to give it more sweetness and deliciousness to the puffs. Okay, so I'm going to mash the plantains with a fork. If you want your puffs to be really smooth, then you will have to blend this in a blender, but I like to bite into small chunks of plantains when I'm eating my puffs, so that's why I'm using fork to mash it. And I just mashed it a little bit, not really smooth. I still have some lumps in there. So after mashing the plantains, I'm going to add the flour, mix it a little bit, then I'm going to add the sugar, the yeast and a pinch of salt and mix everything together. Now you want to make sure you add a tiny bit of salt to this because the salt is what will help to bring out the flavor and taste of these puffs. So after mixing, we are going to start adding the milk bit by bit. When you add, you mix, add and mix. Don't pour everything in at once, and make sure you are using warm milk. If you want, you can use warm water, but I want to make this puff really to have a very rich taste. Okay, so that's why I'm using milk. You don't have to use milk if you don't want to. And after mixing it, this is the consistency you should get. Now we are going to cover it up with a nylon bag followed by a kitchen towel and let it sit for 40 minutes. After about 40 minutes, you will notice that the batter has risen a little bit, and that's exactly what you want. Now finally, we are going to be adding the scotch bonnet pepper, which is the chili pepper. Now mix it up together. You want to add the pepper lastly, don't add it before leaving the batter to rise. Make sure you are adding it lastly. So as you can see already, I've already gone ahead to heat up some oil, and I just showed you my hand because I dipped it into water. So make sure you dip your hand into water before molding in the puffs. So I just tested the oil to see if it is hot enough for me to start frying. I threw in a little bit of the batter and the oil wasn't hot enough, so I had to let it get hot before I start molding in the batter. And make sure you are controlling your heat. As you can see here, before I add the puffs, I turn down my heat, and then after adding them I turn it up to medium again, and I'm going to fry this until they turn to dark brown like this. Now some people like to fry it to be golden brown, but I like mine to be dark brown and a little bit burnt. I don't know why, but it tastes better in my mouth when it's a little bit burnt. But you can choose to fry it whichever way you want. It's up to you. So after frying my puffs, this is what they look like, and I'm just trying to show you what it looks on the inside. Can you see those little chunks of plantains? Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Okay, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I will see you all in my next video. God bless you all. Bye.